also known as Sea Love, and a lot of things have been on my mind. My head is actually hurting, and I've felt compelled to share another video before bed, because everything's so fresh on my mind, and I feel like in order to break a pattern or a cycle, awareness is key. And part of awareness for me, I think, is sharing my story of things I experienced, so then also I can maybe help other women in the same predicament, or even men. I tend to talk more sister to sister just because men and women are a little bit different in ways, and I don't have the man perspective. I have more of the woman perspective. But one of the things I wanted to go over that's really just sticking out to me is covert narcissists and pathological liars, because they're really tricky to spot. And I feel like if I can go over some of the signs with you, with like examples, like pulling examples from things that I went through, maybe that could help you spot the signs in your own experiences, to maybe help you avoid a situation before you get pulled in too far. When I think of a covert narcissist and a pathological liar, I actually think of this metaphor that I've posted before on my pages. It's a story about the frog, and how you can put a frog in a pot of water, and if you slowly turn up the heat, the frog will just sit there until by the time it notices that the water's getting hotter, it's too late, and they're not even able to have the energy to jump out of the pot, and so they cook alive, they die. This kind of reminds me of how a covert narcissist and pathological liar are, because obviously they don't come at you with that from the beginning. They pull you in little by little, little by little, little by little, until all of a sudden you're in this thing, and then it's really hard to get out because you're attached, you have feelings, there's trauma bonding, just so many things just make you feel so stuck in it, and it can get really hard the longer and longer you stay in it. But some of the signs to look out for, especially way at the beginning, is they like to portray a really good image. So in my case, this person portrayed themselves as a really responsible, really good dad. Yeah, so they liked, and he also portrayed himself as like a really nice guy. So they'll be like really, really, really like have this really, really, really nice guy persona. And if they have a kid, they're gonna act like they're the perfect parent. And they also like to create I think it's called triangulation. They like to put themselves in a predicament where it's like a triangle, like a drama triangle, where they play the victim. And so, and it's also part of how they pull you in, because they make you feel like they pull your heartstrings, make you feel like empathy and compassion towards them and their situation. So in this situation, it was the whole story of being cheated on by his wife. So he walked out and left everything, and then now he's been in this custody battle for like a year, because the wife wanted to take the son out of country. So this like really pulled on heartstrings, right? And it created this weird drama triangle between me, him, and his wife, where he like painted her. he actually painted her as the narcissist, and he painted her as this like really mean person who lies and gets away with everything. So obviously in reflection now, I see that he was actually projecting onto her what he was, but I didn't know that from the beginning, right? So then you keep going along. At the beginning too, they like to shower you with like attention and affection and gifts, and it's like the idealization. Sorry for my words and my lisp and everything. The idealization phase. So like tons of attention, tons of gifts. Just always wanting to be helpful, always trying to do things for you. I remember like I had a little bit of a gag reflex from it because it was like over the top. And it was also like because he had randomly found me on Venmo, and when I was on my trip to San Diego for my EFT certification, like I barely met the person and was barely talking to them, and barely added them to my Facebook, and they literally went and found me on Venmo and sent me money for Starbucks. And I just, in that moment, I was just like, oh, that's weird. It kind of creeped me out for a moment, but I kind of just brushed it off like, oh, well, that's actually sweet. But yeah, so things like that. And then like there was this time too, way at the beginning, when he was going somewhere with his friends, he sent me like this video trying to explain leaving his phone in the car, because that's what they do. They don't bring their phone in there, and just wanted to wish me a great day. And I remember when I saw this video, I felt sick. And I thought it was just me needing to get better at receiving love, but I think it was more my intuition, like on guard, like this is weird, something's not right here. So you keep going along, and you get to know the person, or you think you're getting to know the person, and like things just don't make sense, like, or they like try to avoid talking about themselves, or they like to like leave details out, or if they do share things, there's gaps, so things just don't make sense. I was picking up on this. I was a little shy at using my words, so definitely an area for me to get better at. But like I would pick up on all these like holes in the story of who he was, his past, his current situation with the custody battle and the wife. Things like I didn't really understand what he did for work, like because he would talk about coaching a kid's sport with his son, and then he talked about helping his friend with his business, and he talked about helping his dad, but like it wasn't very clear what he did for work. And when I finally asked him, it still wasn't very clear. And later I find out it's because he didn't really have a job, and he was looking for a job. And of course, embarrassment was being used as like the reason why he didn't want to tell me. And so of course I had some compassion there. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it always circled back around to, oh, because of the custody battle with the son and the wife cheating. And then I'm like, oh, dang, this whole thing has costed you a lot. And then being gaslit. So when things didn't add up and didn't make sense, I'd pick up on I wouldn't feel good. And I had talked to him about it, and I was having a hard time trusting him. And he'd always like put it back on me, like, oh, that's just your past, has nothing to do with me, I'm honest, you can trust me, yada yada yada. So and it actually started to get me to like turn on myself, and so I would get really sick. Like the more that you don't listen to your intuition, the more pain it actually causes you in your body. It's pretty gnarly. So that's a huge sign. If your body is giving you pain, something's not right there. Just saying. So like he would gaslight me about just questions, or like even asking him about if he was telling me the truth or anything. He would just like always turn it back around, like, oh, that's just because of your past and everything you've gone through. That has nothing to do with me. When all along he had been lying, which comes out much later. But another thing to look out for is if they keep you kind of hidden. So like not sharing you on their social media, not bringing you around their friends or community. That's a huge red flag. And also it's because they are hiding things, like the truth. They don't want you to find out something from someone else, and they also don't want you sharing anything with other people, because they like to compartmentalize everything, and they can't keep their lies straight, or who they tell what to. So the easiest way for them to control their whole image and all their stories is to keep everything like compartmentalized. So if this person isn't like bringing you around the friends, or isn't really sharing you on social media, it's definitely something to pay attention to. And if you have a talk with them about it, and then they try to act like they're going to give you resolution for it, but then don't follow through with it, then you keep bringing it up, and then all of a sudden they're starting to guilt you for it, or make tons of reasons and excuses why, or then blame you for it. Huge red flag. Definitely narcissist, covert narcissist. Definitely things hidden for a reason. And your paranoia is valid. It's valid. Don't doubt yourself, and don't take it as it's your fault, because it's totally not. This is them like scheming and wanting to keep you out of it. The next thing is like guilt. Like, so you come to them with like your feelings around things, and maybe sometimes you come at them pretty calm and you just bring up something not feeling good, and their reaction is to flip it on you. Somehow it always ends up in a loop with no resolution. Somehow, even though you went to them with your feelings, somehow all of a sudden you're at fault for something and wrong, and the thing that you went to them for never gets resolved, and all of a sudden you're at fault for something, and the original thing never gets dealt with, and you spiral in loops a lot with no resolution. It's crazy making. It's definitely crazy making. And like they're dismissive or deflective with everything, or even with that, when they flip it and then make it like where you're wrong and it's about their feelings now, and then you try to ask them, well, what do you want me to do? Like, and then they just like keep circulating it without resolution. This is just crazy making. It's crazy making, and it literally hurts your brain. And it's just their way to control. And honestly, they feed off of that, because you're like kind of like starting to spiral, and like confusion and not understanding, that their loops of just crazy making, no resolution. Nothing ever gets solved. Everything gets dismissed, swept under the rug, deflected, flipped on you, and it just leaves you like really confused. And then the cracks start to happen, right? And the truth starts to be revealed. And then this is where you start getting punished in the loop, because they're trying to silence you or teach you not to ask questions or teach you not to hold them accountable. And so what they do is they got you like all like used to them being all lovey-dovey attentive, so they start taking it away as punishment. So they'll ignore you, they'll not keep their word of coming, they'll break their promises, they'll just do really hurtful things, all in hopes that you'll stop asking questions, because they don't want to get caught. Especially if there were some cracks and some lies did come out. And so like now they're scared that even more of the truth will come out and even more of their fake persona will be revealed, and the truth of them will be shown. And so this is where they start getting extra defensive, extra mean, because they don't want to get found out. And this is also where you'll end up getting discarded, like you're garbage, or you'll start getting the threats of breakup, where they threaten, or even they'll leave you till come back and start the cycle all over again, because it's like trying to train you or teach you to just keep moving along without questioning them, without even wanting the truth. Like, so long as you don't question them and they can do whatever they want, however they want, and they could be lying to you, and you just keep loving on them, everything's great. The moment you question them, hold them accountable, or come at them with your feelings, which obviously might not agree with their feelings, then they will discard you or punish you into submission. And then what else came up? I'll give you an example. We were on the couch watching a movie, and all of a sudden, his phone went off. And usually his phone isn't nowhere near us, and he always had this tendency of hiding his phone. Even when he would go shower or go to the bathroom, he would like never leave his phone anywhere. And if it was on the table, he'd always put it face down. Just sneaky behavior, right? And another sneaky thing was instantly just deleting stuff all the time. Never like keeping messages, nothing. Just always instantly like deleting. Like so much to hide, so much sneaky behavior. But like this one time we were on the couch and it happened, and I saw, and it said, "Hey, are you still single?" And I was like, I looked at him like, what? And then I clicked on it, and it went to a girl's profile, and she's like basically naked, which triggered me because of my stuff from being sexually abused. So I'm highly triggered in that moment, and yet still keeping my composure and questioning him on it. And he got extra defensive, and then got mad at me for not believing him, even though I'm like highly triggered. And then on top of that, he punished me by making sure to go to bed, go to sleep, and not saying goodnight, not snuggling, no hugs. Didn't even touch me until like the next day in the afternoon. But I got punished for something faulty showing up on his phone, it triggering me trying to question and understand And then because he didn't want to tell me the truth, he punished me to try to shut me up, and took away affection and love. And yeah, that's an example of that whole cycle. Or I can't think of another one at the moment. That was the one I wrote down. But yeah, this would happen. So these are some signs to look out for if you're dealing with, this is like deep manipulation. Oh, another one came to mind actually. Another example is me confronting him about not engaging with me on like social media or posting us or any of that. And he always liked to make me feel guilty or wrong for that, because he said that it was because he was traumatized from his ex-wife, because he said social media turned her into a narcissist. He said she cheated on him multiple times through social media, and so he tried to say that he was traumatized by it, which is why he didn't really engage with me and didn't want to post like us. And come to find out, the truth is she did not cheat on him. The marriage actually got ruined because he committed fraud and tax evasion, so she kicked him out. So this whole story of the cheating thing was always just a thing to use as a weapon, and as I guess a way to reel people in to feel sorry for him. But he used it all the time to make me feel bad, especially if like I'm asking for something that he didn't want to do for a reason of hiding stuff. Because then I would just feel bad, like, oh yeah, maybe that's wrong of me to ask that or want that. It was a way to shut me up. But so manipulation super deep with covert narcissists, and they're really tricky because they like pull you in with this like persona of being this like really awesome, nice person, and then they're just lying to you a lot. So many layers of lies, like whole story not true. And then even when he got caught lying, the more stories of him telling me were not true. So it's like a web of lies and layers of lies. And they're just really hard to spot, these guys and girls, because they're pathological liars. So like they really do believe their lies. And you gotta look out for all these little signs, and also just really listening to your body. Your body knows, so you gotta listen to your body. It will give you pain if you don't listen. So yeah, listen to your body. Stay aware. Be safe. Question. See how somebody responds to being questioned. See if stories make sense, if there's gaps. And trust yourself. Definitely trust yourself. Hope you guys are having a great night. I hope this is supportive in some way. I'm going to be doing tapping circles on different topics. Definitely one around stuff like this, like relationship and lies and being deceived and heartbreak and grieving, as well as like just anxiety and stress and stuff. I'm going to be doing a wide variety of EFT, emotional freedom technique tapping circles. So if you feel like you would benefit from them, definitely send me a message and I will let you know when they are. EFT is very supportive in helping to relieve tension, anxiety, stress in the body. It's helpful in releasing intense emotions It's helpful in helping the brain rewire and create new pathways, so then you can create new habits, so then you can create a new life. It helps with releasing like trauma, and it's very powerful and potent. So if you resonate with me, and you also would like to work on things, I also do one-on-one EFT tapping sessions where we go in a little bit deeper. When you do it in a group, you can't go as deep, because when you work one-on-one, we literally work with your intuition and we follow it where it's leading, and we go into memories and we go into feelings trapped in the body, and it's all about releasing. So then you can put in the good after. It's all about getting all the yucky stuff out, so then you can put in the good stuff, and then it helps you start really transforming your life. But I hope you have a great day and a great night. I hope this video was helpful, and I look forward to talking to you guys again later. See you later.